That's the day before Backlot Bash? Okay. Okay, as long as, I don't care, it works for me, I'm in town, I just was bringing it up, okay.
I received it at 3 o'clock, and it says it's sent.
Okay, well, it could be that. Okay, cool, thank you. I didn't even get it, so.
Some pretty expensive items.
Okay, everybody, it's now 7:30, according to Apple. Welcome to the Village of Skokie Appearance Commission meeting for Wednesday, July 10th. We have 6 cases. We have comments that we get from the village's Community Development Department. The commissioner to my left will be reading when I call your case. They'll read those into the record. Some of the comments are easy, some of them not so easy. We're not going to redesign any case that is going to take a lot of work. We may send you back to the drawing board if that happens. You were given instructions what we're going to be doing today when you went in to get your building permits. So hopefully you understand what's going on. When I call your case, come up to that podium, or is it either podium?
We're good at either.
Either podium, whichever one you have lighting preference for. With that said, anybody who's going to testify today or present a case or say anything, if there's a neighbor who might be on either side who might come up, please stand up and be sworn in. If you're just here to observe, that's fine. You don't need to be sworn in. But if you're presenting a case or going to talk, stand up and swear in.
Harmless. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, before we proceed into the new cases, somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 12th meeting?
I move that we approve the minutes from June 12th, 2024 as written.
Anybody second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye. So passed. All right, let's move right into it. Case 2024-029A at 5033 Morse Avenue. It's for a new detached residence.
The proposed new residence will require a sprinkler system throughout the entire house. The electric service to the house will need to be located underground. The driveway exceeds the maximum width along the property line and will need to be reduced. The curb cut will need to be in the approximate same location to not violate section 118-212 of the zoning ordinance. Did I swear again, Brian?
Yeah,
No.
please. I don't think it picked it up.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks.
Take two.
The proposed new residence will require a sprinkler system throughout the entire house. The electric service to the house will need to be located underground. The driveway exceeds the maximum width along a property line and will need to be reduced. The curb cut will need to be in the approximate same location to not violate section 118-212 of the zoning ordinance. Staff overall approves of the elevations and the proposed materials. The variation in the depth of the front facade gives the facade more character.
So everything he read, that first paragraph, et cetera, was all stuff that's going to be taken care of at permitting. I'm sure you're aware of all that stuff.
Yes.
What we're mostly concerned about is the last two sentences, so in the elevations. Go ahead, Brian. This is a tear down and a rebuild?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the color rendering. Then I'll go through each elevation and come back to this if you want.
All right. Keep going.
Nice.
Height's all fine, right?
As far as we know, yes.
Okay. Give us a brief rundown on materials. It all looks like it's
yeah.
stone.
Yeah, on the front elevations, all the other elevations, we're doing a whitewash brick, and we're doing like a white stucco for those bays that come out, and then a little bit on the side to kind of break up that very big surface on the right-hand side. Other than that, it's just black trim windows, and a little bit more like trim pieces around the windows, and like some coins on the corners. Yeah, it's pretty much all there.
Go to the front elevation, Brian, because you can, all right, so, this will be a little better, so, point it out again now.
So everything is brick except those two bays on either side of the main entrance. Those two-story kind of projections that are reading flat off the front elevation. But those are gonna be a white stucco with those stucco trim accents around the windows.
So those coins are made, are stucco?
Yes.
Anybody have any comments?
That's a quick question about the, I like how you designed the garage and you broke
Me
up
too.
the two
Yeah.
bays of the garage. I'm curious about the garage doors. Are they, is there a color or is this the style you're going with?
Yeah, so they're gonna be black to match the window.
Black, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna be black.
I think the render reads a little bit brown from
Mhm.
the lighting, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
they will be black, yes.
Anybody else have any comments?
I like it.
All right, Julie, you like it so much, fire away.
Okay. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2024-029A at 5033 Morse Avenue as presented.
Anybody second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So passed. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. One instruction I may not have given, this doesn't affect you, sir. If there are any neighbors that were given notice of this meeting and you want to provide a comment when I call a case, please feel free to come up. If there are no neighbors, then disregard everything I'm saying. Moving on to the next case, 2024-030A at 7701 Laramie Avenue for a second floor addition.
Due to the size of the proposed addition, a fire sprinkler throughout the entire home will be required. The electric service to the house will need to be located underground. The proposed driveway width along the public walk exceeds the maximum allowed in the zoning ordinance and will need to be reduced. Overall, staff has no objections with the proposed elevations. The applicant will need to clarify the discrepancy between the rendering and the elevations, specifically above the garage doors. The applicant will also need to clarify what brick is being used.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
That's the front elevation.
Can I, real quick, this was listed as a second story addition. So, is it a second floor addition?
Correct.
Okay, so what did it look like before?
I
Is
had
that, Brian, you got that photograph?
I had several pictures actually here also.
The rendering.
You got something in the record, Brian, or no? I know you're just doing Google, but
Oh, here. This is,
that's it?
that's it.
Yes,
It's on the
correct.
corner. Wow.
Okay?
Yeah, there's some various different bricks shown in here, so staff wanted clarification what's gonna actually be.
So I'm assuming all the old brick is gone and you're re-bricking the whole structure?
Correct.
Okay, so, and we will eventually get around to talking about the brick. Does anybody have any comments on the elevations? Because to me, look, I'll hear what you guys have to say.
It's massive.
That's a terrible elevation to look at, to be honest with you. Let's look at, that's not favorable for you. I think it looks very flat and tall and boxy. I think that looks better, even though it's not an elevation, if you will.
There's a couple of variations that are happening on the SketchUp drawing and the 2D elevation. All the windows are framed out on this elevation, and on the 2D elevation with the materials, there's no lintel over the garage. There's no framing around the windows. So that's what makes it look really flat. So I'm curious, what is what's the intention? Is
Is it the rendering or the elevation?
I'm sorry.
Which
The,
is the re-
what he's saying is in this view, the rendering view, the windows have a framing, there's more detail to it and things look much better, but when you go to the 2D elevation, go ahead back.
The
Brian.
rendering is correct.
Okay, but
okay, so
let's go to the 2D.
yeah, see, there's even there's like a rake underneath the eaves that aren't shown on here. There's no, like, the trim around the windows is just inches, whereas the rendering is several inches. And then the garage is just flat. And it reads flat without
And
the,
there's no-
without the trim.
And here, there's no horizontal, like, break lines, for lack, or relief lines or whatever. It's just one big flat wall of brick, but on the elevation, it seems like there was some brick detailing.
Looked like it.
So go back to the, I'm sorry, on the
The rendering.
Right.
rendering. You see there, it kind of looks like,
it's-
I don't know if you can, like you've got some horizontalness to it. Now, if that's just the printing of the,
There is a definition of that.
I don't know
Space.
what's the intention there, but.
It appears that they have, different courses of brick as they go up. First of all, at the bottom, I know Brian had asked me what that is. That is going to be concrete, the first foot, and then the rest, we're removing all the brick and going up. The reason I had 3 samples of brick, oh, I'm so sorry, this was supposed to be up. That's the contractor right there. He was supposed to bring samples. The owner is also here, was to pick which brick he wanted. I guess we had to obviously match the first floor with the new second floor addition. And it appears to me that he's doing it in stages there with the horizontal lines you can see.
Are you the architect?
I am not.
Okay.
The architect who works for the architect is back behind us.
You are who?
I am an agent. I work with the architect. The architect's my wife.
Okay.
The architect could not make it.
You say the owner is here?
The owner's here also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
The variation in the brick on this
That's
rendering
just
is.
printing.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. However, that horizontal element that you were talking about, Chairman, is really necessary here, I think, partly because you're only 13 feet from the sidewalk.
Mm.
And so this is gonna be just a massive, just
Brick wall.
brick wall on the, 13 from the sidewalk, 13 feet from the sidewalk. And since you've got so much detail, and the porch looks nice on the other side.
Yeah.
That other corner is actually detailed really nicely. And it just seems like it gets lost on the other side, and I know you're dealing with setback issues and things like that, so.
Correct.
I think, my opinion is, you need to get some horizontalness into the elevation. It looks good here, but that's just a printing error.
And the trees.
You understand what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay, because if you go back to the 2D, and this is something that I think you're gonna have to draw and come back. If you go to the 2D, it just does not look good.
You might consider an awning, like the front, over the entrance, over the garage doors, to break up that mass of brick.
Or soldier courses along
Or-
the,
Sure.
or, you know, and
Something
I don't know,
like
Joe,
that.
you're pretty adept at this, I mean,
Yeah, we've had people, put like a shade,
sorry, just,
a
Yeah.
shade, like a little shade thing over the garage doors. And as I was looking at this earlier, I was trying to figure out how that works with that porch detail on the other side. It would be nice to see some of that detail brought over to the garage side. And I know it's set back a little farther, but there's some nice detail there that really should be carried out through the whole elevation. And we're not here to design it for you. But, as I said, the lack of trim versus the 3D rendering is striking. You know, and I like what you did. It's really creative what you guys did with the floor plan and, you know, what you did with the space is great. It's just hard to kind of make it work with the street, and I don't know what that is.
So is that something you can have,
Absolutely.
you're the agent, you can talk to your
Absolutely, I
architect?
mean, and the architect here, the builder,
I
that's what
think,
keeps calling. me.
sure, I think, you know, we're good in concept, you know, so, yeah, but it's really, we just need some,
Something.
I hate to use the word pizzazz, but we need something to make that look less brick wall.
Dark.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
I might agree
And
with
so, in my opinion, is some horizontal detailing with the brick, whether it's a soldier course or some limestone, I don't know, whatever it is, to do that, to make this more nice look. Everything on the left looks great, it's everything on the right doesn't.
I tend to agree with- in between the first floor and the second floor, where you see the height.
Right.
And that probably a foot of limestone, or even the same, what's at the bottom, although that's concrete, it's hard to do, but a foot of limestone block all the way through, separating the first floor from the second floor.
What are those things I'm looking at, that are with the vertical line attached?
Oh, those are dimension lines.
Is that all it is
Yeah.
dimensions?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you can,
And then, I'm sorry, one other thing, Urshana, I'm sorry, I apologize. The single window above the single garage door,
Right.
is there a reason it's that small? Is it a bathroom? And then, you know,
I think that was existing as it was,
it can't be, because
Can't
it's
be,
new
it's a new-
second floor.
oh,
I'm just saying, to me, that looks a little odd, because it's out by
I
itself.
believe it is a bathroom?
no, it's a bedroom.
It's really small.
It's a master bath.
All this,
Yeah,
Master
that's
bath.
primary bath.
Okay.
the small one are the bathrooms.
The other two I'm I don't care about, because they're closer together, and there's kind of a rhythm to it, but that one, it just kind of sits out by itself, but I don't know. That'd kill me, just bringing it up.
One of the things that we have a problem with always is everybody wants to have high ceilings, and, you know, once you do a high ceiling and you put a garage to it, you've got a regular sized garage, and then you've got this massive
It
brick
doesn't look
thing.
right, right.
Could be a
over
wide, could it be
the,
a taller garage?
Yeah, and it's,
Door.
you know, it's how do you deal with that? And again, we're not here to design it, but just the fact that it's 13 feet from the sidewalk, it's a really long, skokie corner lot, it's gonna be really, really noticeable.
So does that give you enough to
Oh,
kind of go back and tidy up a couple things?
Absolutely. No, absolutely, I believe it does. It gives me some other ideas too.
And is it possible to raise the garage doors, to make them taller?
Taller?
We could, I
I
mean,
think the weight.
I don't know what clearance you have on the inside, I'm not quite sure how everything, Joe's, you saw the inside plans, I did not, but.
that's kind of why I wanted the contractor, he keeps calling me, he's told me he's gonna be here in 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago, but,
Mhm.
and he was bringing samples of the brick. I told him just in case, those pictures, but,
He can bring them next month.
it was kind of for between them and the owner, you know, about the
Yeah.
budgeting, and that's why, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
I wanted to have them all here.
The tall garage door is a good idea if you're gonna go with
I like the idea too.
an upgraded garage door. If they're
Could be glass.
if they're vinyl, big
No.
tall garage doors, you'd be better off doing a transom window or
With the
something like
glass in it,
that
right.
Yeah.
over the
Very
top.
Or glass.
Because otherwise, the cost of of a custom garage door may just,
It's pretty expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So
transom
it would be
windows,
really
too.
cool, but, you know, just an option would be to look at a transom window over it so you can keep the line, and then you can start to build off of that
Absolutely.
horizontal.
And like, the chairman mentioned, that gives me some great ideas, and the architect. My wife, you know, like, she works for the architect,
Mhm.
she is an architect, but, and some people for her drew it,
Sure.
but it gives us some great ideas. I was trying
Okay.
to get them all to come here, so.
Julie, I cut you off, was there something you wanted
No,
to get in?
I agree too. I
Okay.
think the idea of like keeping that horizontal band that you have on the windows over the garage, I think that would be a smarter idea than a larger door.
The transom panel that's over the glass.
Yeah, it kind
Windows,
of brings it
right.
over. Kind of-
Yeah, but those
It's
are
hard to get
integrate,
that
those are
small.
built into the windows when
Yeah.
they manufacture.
Yeah.
That's,
Hmm.
but-
But still, I think that would help. Some height.
I'd like
a
to see
height
the other
issue on the right.
elevations
Oh,
quickly.
can we take a quick look at the other elevations? Right. If we're gonna
Yeah.
send them away with notes, I don't want them
Forget
Okay.
something.
to, right.
Okay. That's the back, right?
That's
Mhm.
backyard, no
No biggie.
problem. Okay.
That's the one with the bay window with the, off the porch. Yeah, I think those are all fine. Joe, go ahead.
Quick question, and this has come up on some other applicants, where you're trying to match the brick. So you're using the existing brick on the first floor, and then you're adding the brick to the second?
If we can find a correct match, if not, and I think, again, that's budgeting the owners here, that's why I specifically told the contractor, go to the brick manufacturer, the brick company, Bricks Incorporated, and he sent pictures, which we have pictures of
Yeah.
different colors here. You know, I don't think, there was one that was closest to the first floor, but I personally don't think, I think you're gonna see a difference, and so.
So,
Well,
here's what we're gonna tell you. That elevation we're looking at right now on the right,
Mhm.
that's facing the street.
Yes.
Now, if you go to the front elevation, you're not showing me that you're trying to
Two
reuse it.
colors, yeah.
Right,
This drawing says we're trying to reuse it.
right.
So,
Right.
I don't like, first of all, the one on the right, you're not gonna do. You're gonna have to do all new brick.
I tend
The
to,
one on the left, maybe get away with it, but at that point, why?
and that was my point. The only reason I think I know the owner was there when the draftsman and the architects, people were there, probably was trying to help the budget, you know, itself. to say,
I
hey,
get it, but-
You know, the owner said, I don't wanna maybe tear down the rhythm bricks. I'm not sure why, but that's what I gather. But I kinda stated, you know, originally, and not so long ago when I talked to Brian and I talked to the contractor, I said, go to the brick company, get samples of bricks, but I don't think any of these are gonna match, so whatever you do, you're gonna have to come, you know, full from the ground
Okay.
up on, you know, and every elevation. And that's what I, you know,
Okay,
tend to believe also.
so you know what our concerns are.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? You good, Joe? Yeah, okay, cool. Then, we'll see you in August, at the
Thank
August
you very
meeting.
much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman.
And then give him enough time, get your resubmittal. All right, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 2024-031A at 4409 Gulf Road, first floor addition.
The proposed addition will need to meet the 6-foot minimum side yard requirement. When this project is submitted for review, an architect will need to draw and stamp the plans. Overall, staff has no objections to the proposed changes. The applicant will need to clarify what changes were made to the front facade in the past and what brick is proposed.
Hi,
Hi.
so, help me here, Brian.
So this is, I'll show you an existing, this is an addition, correct?
Yeah.
And this little piece is on the side of the house facing the front yard is here. This piece goes in line, and then this is an addition, this is an addition here.
To be honest, I don't know. I'm gonna be asked questions.
Don't wait, no, you're not, because,
My husband.
no, I get it. So you wanna scoot out a little bit to the right.
Yes, we
Right,
planning
but
to
you
do like
could-
sunroom, but except
Right.
with the wall,
Right,
so
but
it's
you-
not a noise
Sure.
from the street.
Sure, but you can only do so much, because we gotta stay 6 feet back,
Yeah.
and then you wanna add a little front entry porch to the other side there, right?
Yeah.
We
that's
understand
the
that,
next step.
and we see you got 2 different color bricks, you got a,
Yeah, we wanna do, after we do, entrance and this, then we're gonna matching the
right,
brick,
so,
so this look, like either.
so, is that the only elevation she showed us, Brian? Oh, you got this, okay.
I believe that's it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think we
We
can,
can't do much with
I
this.
think we can pass this, and then just let staff make sure that everything matches, right? If we're good and it's code compliant, if that, unless anybody has any objection to what she's doing here. They're obviously gonna have to hire an architect and do all sorts of stuff, but,
Yeah, for the,
but from an appearance commission
Doesn't
situation, right? I think in concept we're fine, she's gonna match it to the right, and whatever the bump out is for the new entryway is gonna be matched as well, so.
So in matching to the right, are we matching 2 different color bricks?
we matching all colors same, we're
Yeah.
gonna do,
So matching the
gateway.
lower and matching the upper?
Yeah, everything, yeah, since we start front and we need now to the sidewalk too, here is much more, the flowers and entrance that we already did. But, point is to the get entrance and then like, we got, and, sunroom, but planning to do over with the roof and a little bit like a wall to get some, noise from the golf road that we have on the street. So it was first plan gazebo, but still we didn't get nothing with gazebo, so we just have to have this update, how much we can cover.
The concept is really good. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's gonna be ranch.
there's
but,
a-
we're gonna do garage after we done this little by little, but that's the plan so far.
But
Yeah.
What we'll need is, you're showing a different material around the door. I'd like to know what that is.
So maybe just by the door, we was planning to do brick. If it's like interior gonna look a little better,
Yeah.
but we can update that. But it was planned to do the maybe brick too. I mean stone, stone, not brick.
That's different.
Yeah.
And the other, and this is, because you're gonna be required to have an architect sign it.
Okay.
So I think, because some of these things, this is just something you're
Yeah.
gonna need to
Yeah,
do
no,
anyway,
it's
so
much this.
it sounds like we're gonna have to pass this, so that an architect can look at it. So I'm just kind of mentioning some things that we'd like to see. The roof plan, since you're doing an addition, you've got a hip roof on the existing house. The extension you're putting on, is that a gable or a hip roof? So lots of things like that we're gonna need to see. So we can, because there's a chimney that it affects, and, you've got a chimney on the kitchen side where you're adding the addition.
I think how about you guys hear me out? I think what we're gonna tell you is, you gotta go get your architect and then resubmit it to us, okay? But what I'm gonna tell you is, we're okay with it, but we still need to see some of the stuff that Joe's talking, because we can't put it all on the village staff to say it's okay, to Brian and his thing. So when you hire an architect, they're gonna do that drawing anyway. It'll be very quick, but I don't know what to tell you, because you gotta get an architect anyway. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what the instruction is from the village staff, because they can't just go, okay, go ahead and build it. You need to get a building permit, so.
Right.
In order to get a permit, you gotta have stamped architectural drawings for that, so. But know that we like the shape, we like what you're doing, we just need to see it and make sure that, the roofs line up. Does that make sense, or do you guys just wanna pass it?
I'd rather see more clarity on the
Okay.
materials, in
Okay.
particular, and everything else you've said. And I think an architect will be mindful of that.
Okay. Okay, so do that, and then resubmit it to Brian, and hopefully you can turn around quick. We'll see you next month. All right, thank you. Case number 024032A, 8330 Kedvale Avenue, new detached garage.
The Appearance Commission is reviewing this case because the applicant built the garage taller than the maximum height
Is
allowed.
that a person here? This is at 8330 Kedvale Avenue. Going once? Okay, no
Okay.
show. Read the comment, though, it's entertaining so far.
Okay. Built a garage taller than the maximum height allowed. If approved, the applicant will need to appeal the height with the Zoning Board of Appeals and Village Board. Any height variance request must first be approved by the Appearance Commission per ordinance. Staff has no objections to the look of the garage. Staff only objects to the overall height, as this clearly is the tallest garage in the area.
Okay, cool. So that applicant's not here?
This is why you hire an architect, because then
Right.
they've got insurance, they can,
Right,
you
it's
can
another-
you can sue them.
That's another reason why you do that. Good point. All right, so we're gonna move on. Case number 4925, case number 2024-033A at 4925 Oakton Street. It's a facade alteration.
The staff has no objections to the proposed facade changes. The changes will beautify a building that needs upkeep.
This is another Oakton property.
I'm gonna tell people that you don't have to stay here if your case has been heard. Feel free to go home and stay with your families. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not kicking you out, I'm just saying. Yeah, yeah, no worries.
Windows, height's the same, a little awning. So is that business out?
Is this different than what what you guys submitted already, or no?
It's same,
Is
Okay,
there-
you just,
rendering.
you just
there
brought
going
us
to be
stuff
a
to look at.
sign
Correct,
on the
yeah.
building?
One thing I gotta mention is that all the frames of the window and storefront is gonna be black. So there is gonna be some kind of contrast, but
Sure.
the architect is in the hospital right now, so I can't,
No worries.
we couldn't make the change.
And is your brick gonna be this white?
Correct. I gave Brian, the picture of the brick that we're gonna use. Yeah, right there.
Wow.
Yep. And then we're gonna use, limestone seals on the window and above the storefront.
Are you the landlord?
No, I'm the general contractor.
You're the general
Yeah, the
contractor?
landlord is right here. He-
Okay.
He lives on the second floor.
And is this for
Yeah.
the same tenant?
Yeah, he owns the business downstairs.
Happy Paws?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
he owns the
So he's the
building.
owner operator of?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
great. Just so I understand.
Yeah,
So that sign will remain on
I'm
the
sorry?
facade? The sign?
yes. The sign is gonna be right here on the left-hand side of the
The
elevation.
sign or the awning?
Oh, we are gonna get rid of the awning, and we're gonna
This.
have the blade sign. And then if you
That's
look at
an
the,
awning.
It doesn't show on
the
this.
awning is the existing condition.
Right, but what are you doing for a sign? It says new sign. Oh, okay, it's just a simple blade sign.
Yeah, it's
That's what
simple
you-
blade
Okay,
sign,
I got it,
correct.
yeah.
It said new sign they wrote.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Okay, there it
They
is.
just
Okay.
approved, yeah,
Right there.
It's actually very cool.
yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, we just approved one like that down the street
Yeah, I'm,
last
somebody
month.
fire
So
away.
it's going to be on the, like
Make a
the
motion.
side of center, not centered, right? You said it's going to be on the side? a
Correct,
little
it's
bit?
gonna be off-centered.
Okay.
Correct, yeah.
I like that the windows are gonna be black.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
And you're replacing all the brick on the front with this
Correct.
lighter?
Yeah, it's gonna be a brand new brick,
Okay.
brand new windows. front.
Is it deteriorating or is
Yes,
it?
yes.
Oh, okay.
It's overdue for a new
Okay.
facade, so,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, we're gonna bring out that angled entrance to the front. So if you
Oh,
look
you're
at.
gonna flatten
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
off?
yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
That's why I was asking, it's like,
yeah, yeah.
so it's an owner occupied thing, and that's
Correct.
what makes sense with the vestibule and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's not like you're renting it out to somebody
Yeah.
up above.
Mm-hmm.
All right, somebody.
I move to approve that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2024-033A at 4925 Oakton as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. All right,
Thank
great,
you.
thank you.
Thank you very
Cool.
much, thank you.
Case 2024-034A at 8266 Lincoln, it's a new building.
Staff has the following comments. Number one, the building looks unbalanced or off-center. The location of the front door should be centered if possible. Two, the front facade is unimaginative. Staff would like to see some type of element or feature added above the windows to break up the amount of plain brick wall proposed. The applicant did receive relief during the Plan Commission hearing on June 6th from Code Section 118-184C 6 to provide less than 50% of the wall area that is between 2 and 12 feet above grade to be occupied by windows and/or entry doors.
What is there now?
The Kara, the old Kara bar
Oh, okay.
with an empty lot, which was the beer garden.
And what does this want to be?
Montessori.
School?
Daycare, yeah.
Great.
Higher ground, it's Guidepost Montessori.
And you guys are owners, architect? What?
Yes, my name is Victor Drapso, I'm the architect.
Okay, and you're the owner of the Montessori school?
I'm the owner of the property,
Okay, you're the landlord, and the Met School's gonna be renting from you?
Yes, correct.
It's a big risk.
What's that?
No, I don't know how long your lease is, but I'm just saying, you are committing to putting a building that looks like a school in a commercial district, and then if all of a sudden it doesn't work out, you now own a building that's
Well, they're a national
That's tough,
company.
that's
They
tough
got-
to I'm just saying, it's a big risk, I'm not saying it doesn't.
They got about 200 of these all across the country.
Okay,
Very professionally ran.
Could the main entrance be wider? Could it be a wider, like a 4-panel door or something that would give that a little bit more centered feel?
Well, we do have a wall that is coming right next to the right of that.
On the right.
Door, so we can't really make that
Okay.
wider, and it is recessed,
Okay.
entrance to allow the door to swing out and not into the public way, so that's the reason it's,
Okay.
it's,
Would a corner, moving it to one or the other end,
Or
make more
third,
sense?
like a third
Um,
versus,
I'm also thinking of, instead of those punched windows, going to ribbon windows on the ground and punched above. It's,
it's unattractive.
yeah, it's
well, I
awfully,
mean, it's school, so,
yeah, okay.
That doesn't mean,
So-
it doesn't mean it can be unattractive. I don't understand that is that all on one plane when I'm looking at it, or is the second floor setback?
no, it is one plane.
So, I mean, it's just,
So, realistically, even,
Why is it- why is it so tall?
So, what it is that there's gonna be a roof deck on top, and we did get a request, see the railing on top of that. So that's like a little extension, but this railing actually is gonna be pushed back further, so from the street, you will actually not see
so
that
why is it
railing.
so tall?
It is going to be set back just in case, so things will not be thrown over onto the street.
Mm.
So that's the precaution that is
Why,
taken. It is 2 stories with a roof deck.
why aren't, where's the ceiling lines? Why aren't the windows taller?
We could make them taller.
I mean, it
I mean,
just,
they're-
it looks so odd.
See, so they're already like 8 feet high. You know, we can see the ceilings are 10.
The building looks massive.
I'm trying to help you.
The
I'm just
proportion.
saying.
Sure.
And I don't understand why they're vinyl windows if
All
you're
right,
if
so
you're
well,
building it.
we have proposed something different because anticipating your comment. So, is there a projector maybe you could,
Based on the comments, he's already got a different proposal. I don't get this. Less than 50% of all area that is between 2 and 12.
Joe, let me know if I'm crazy.
No, I've been struggling with this, I guess I happened to be at I was at the plan commission when this was presented, and so I've been thinking a lot about this over the,
all right,
the last
so,
month.
so what you have here is,
That helps.
yeah,
Mhm.
so you see the ends, and then in the middle between the doors, that's gonna be revealed coming out, so
Mhm.
about 2 inches toward us. You know, we have, so it's kind of, I guess we tricked you into this because this door still remains as it is.
Right,
okay?
but
Yeah.
it, now,
So-
Balance
but
looks
now it makes
better.
sense.
But the balance is
Right.
there, right?
Yeah.
But we
better.
did have to remove a window on the left side, see?
Right.
So that's why we had to do that, so, but at least it gives you the balance, the center look, and it's, you know, the plainness definitely is alleviated that way.
Can you zoom it in, Bri? Or can you not, because it's,
I know you're having a sign up there too.
yeah, I mean, that sign is way out of
It's
I mean,
scale.
do you want, I have an additional copy if you want to get a closer look.
No,
It's all right.
thank you though.
What specifically do you
Well,
want to
couple
see?
things. So, first of all, the sign is,
Can't read it.
Tiny.
way out of scale, but I'm
Right.
sure you're not to that point yet on what you're doing with signage, right?
No. we'll
All right, so you'll
go ahead and-
present that again
we'll
on
submit-
sign,
we'll
okay.
submit that.
Good, let's go to the top of the building. What is that? Is that an elevator, room?
Yeah, which is set back.
How far?
I'll say, let's see, let me get the plans.
And this does not show the railing, but is that
Right,
because you
so
don't think?
that railing is pushed back.
Farther than these, farther back, you don't see.
But in this, since this is that, is that elevator, shaft going to be the same brick?
Well, it is going to be CMU, but it is pushed back about 12 feet, I'll say maybe 11 feet, let's just say, from the facade. So from the street, you would most likely not even see it.
Most, yeah, I know. Is it really gotta be that high? Doesn't the elevator just stop on the second floor? And
Yeah, so actually, the whole thing will be actually lower. But the elevator on the right, there's gonna be like an elevator behind the stairs to the right. So maybe that shaft will be a little bit taller, but then the thing to the left, we could make it pretty much
Okay,
like, I don't know, let's just say 5 feet above the parapet wall.
okay. And then let me, Brian, slide it over just so we can read some of the descriptors. No, the other way, other way. Perfect. So is it your intent, the reveals, et cetera, are you doing anything different with brick colors or shades here on this, on the?
Well, that could be also an additional thing, so we could do, we're talking about doing like a reddish brick where it would be throughout, but in the middle between the first, second floor, and then also between second and roof, we could do maybe a lighter color. You guys
Yeah, I don't know,
we
but it
could
might
definitely
be,
use
it
that.
might be interesting to do, do a little shading, not be all stupid, not be crazy like that one school on Crawford and
Or Howard.
Yeah.
Howard,
East
that
Prairie
they
School.
went over the top with that, but, I'm just saying it might be interesting, you know, a dark red.
Just a
and
little
maybe
variation,
different
not a
red or
huge
whatever.
one, yeah.
Okay.
But I think we would
Dimension.
all agree we like this better than the first one.
What's the material between the windows?
So that's a precast concrete.
Okay, so it'd be like a concrete.
Yeah, it looks
slab.
like a limestone.
Yeah, so
essentially.
so between the windows, it would be a concrete.
Right, so all the way around where you see the details on the bottom and, between the windows and above it, it's a precast concrete that we would like to propose.
All right, now zoom out a little, Bri. Is there a reason there's, like no detail above the door, like on the second floor, like
I was
Yeah.
about to suggest, is it possible to put a window there?
the same width of the door opening
Right.
or something? Is that the, even if that's the stair shaft?
That we have
something.
Something. Right.
Well, we could put a sign, because, you know, there is a wall that divides right there, and also a janitor's closet, that it's, you know, it's kind of, would obstruct it. We could maybe put like an opaque window, you know, if needed, but I don't know if that would.
No, that would be more hideous.
Could have
But-
been like an emblem or some piece of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
we're-
kind of
Design.
educational,
Oh,
We're big
Yeah,
on,
we'll
we're
do
big
that.
on public art, and so we've got a lot of murals in town, we've got a lot of sculpture. Get creative with that space, whether it's a cool window or some type of cool mosaic.
educational.
Think, you know, it's education, do something cool.
Sure.
And not institutional. That's, cause that's kind of, even with the, and it is what it is, it's institutional, but it's also gonna be here for 100
Sure,
years.
right.
And so we're gonna have to deal with it, and it's, you're lucky it's kind of a bleak stretch of street right now with the auto dealer next door and then the office building that needs a little work next door. It's not a really good pedestrian section of street, but that's not saying that it won't be in 5 years or 10 years. And then you'll be the oddball on the street with, you know, lots of brick and kind of institutional. So think about artwork or think about something that gives it a little bit more pizzazz. The other thing that
And something of some substance, like the full width
Yeah.
of that doorway and the
I
full.
mean, we could do like maybe like a cantilever or a roof a little bit, but that would be going on a public way. I don't know if that's something would be acceptable, and then we already went through. committee, so-
Jose, I'm gonna correct me if I'm wrong, Lincoln Avenue is not our street at that point, correct?
It's a retail street.
No, but I mean, it's not, is it a Skokie Street or is it IDOT or Cook County. Yeah, it's not our street to allow projection into.
So there's, IDOT says no?
Well, we haven't heard anything from, they'd have to get permission from IDOT to do
What's
that.
it, to put a cantilever out
To
over the?
extend into
Like
the,
a
over the
canopy
right
or
of way.
something.
Yeah.
I mean, because essentially a canopy would be pretty useful and then
Well,
would break
especially if it's
everything up.
raining and the people are trying to get
Right.
into school.
But like I said, I don't know if that would be allowed, but, you know, obviously.
But anyway, we're talking about that square area above the thing.
Yeah.
Do something, right,
Artistic.
exactly.
Exactly, right, well, we could,
Right.
you know, I mean, the
Maybe-
school could put banners there, you
Well,
know, all kinds of things.
or a ceramic
hanging
Something-
from-
tile thing.
Not square,
So-
something
Yeah.
round or irregular shaped, yeah.
Or different material.
Right. All right, so that's that elevation. Let's just take it, like Tom said, let's look at a couple other things so we're not surprised.
Yeah, well, the rear elevation is what I'd like to talk about.
Right.
Let me switch back to the
Sure.
PC.
Definitely better. Is this hardy? What is that? Brick? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
brick?
already,
It's hardy siding on
Yeah,
top?
hardy board.
Go ahead, Joe.
Is that a fire escape door? What is it?
It's facing an alley.
yeah, it's
Right.
facing an alley. I'm glad that it's hardy. It's not, because the other, when I was looking at it here, it just said siding. So hardy's better.
Steel
It just-
porch
it's-
not shown. Well, let's eventually look at that.
I'm trying to keep my, my appreciation of the 1920s building that's being torn down out of my head, since this is a new proposal.
Why is there that gap between the two? Up in the,
Up on top,
yeah,
so that's where the stair goes up, and that's where the entrance to the roof deck, or actually second exit.
Isn't
would
there
be.
a railing there?
So
Oh,
if you
get
could
up
show
there?
the page A2.2,
Like,
that shows the porch, so.
oh,
so we had,
I,
that's how.
now I get it.
You need like a
I
fire
get it.
escape.
It's the, so that is a fire escape.
Fire escape.
And a porch, right? Correct?
Yes, that's a steel porch.
I don't have a problem with it.
No.
It's fine.
Okay. And the side elevations are what, just full brick?
So, no, there's a hardy board, and then there is, see that one
Oh, oh.
side has a 8-inch CMU, which is part of that stair shaft.
Right,
that we
it
saw.
has to, for fire, right.
Right.
Just painted, I presume?
Where's the HVAC equipment going?
It's gonna be on the roof, so there's
How much
also
parapet space do you have from the roof line to the top?
Side, hold on one second, which page is that on?
Are any of the units gonna stick above the parapet?
No, the parapet is about, 3.5 feet high, so the units will not be as tall as
Do you
that.
know how tall the units are gonna be, or?
They're usually about 3 feet.
Oh. Anybody else?
One question about the front elevation, the revised front elevation, you don't need to pull it back up, but, again, the first floor is 15 feet, or it's at least 12 and a half or 13 to the right, to the ceiling. Can't those windows on the first floor, even with the new elevation, be a little taller?
Yeah.
To meet the top of the door? And maybe you
Yeah.
do need to pull that back up.
Yeah, let's pull it back up.
Because again, it's, we're in this for the long haul. We approve you build it, and in 50 years, we have to drive by it and look at it.
Sure.
And
I agree with
that if those windows could either be taller, or if there could be a transom window above the 7 on the first floor, it's gonna make gonna bring more light into those classrooms or whatever they are. And it's gonna make it a little bit more symmetrical and reduce the amount of that 4-inch face brick in between floor 1 and floor 2.
So we would make that stone detail that goes along, just raise it all up, so it's
Yeah,
all
so
in
that-
line.
Right,
Yeah,
so,
so it
so
lines
move the
up.
whole thing up,
Yeah.
I'll say maybe that's about 2 feet.
Yeah,
Well,
so it
whatever
lines
that
up,
is.
Or align
lines
it
up
with the window transom, I got it,
yeah, with the top of the,
Detail over
um,
the door.
yeah,
right.
exactly. I think that's gonna help a lot. And if that building ever needs to be reused, that big opening could be made retail.
Correct, correct. That could be changed, in the future.
Yeah.
Probably to like a storefront window.
Yeah, I think that's gonna help a lot.
Okay, you got enough to make a motion then on that, Joe?
Oh, God.
Joe, just try to describe the art thing we want in the middle, it'd be
Yes.
great.
Okay, yeah.
American Eagle.
No,
Um,
art, some kind of art.
I moved that it's, you're gonna make me go on record doing this. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2024034A at 8266 Lincoln Avenue, with the exceptions of increasing the size of the front windows to line up with the top of the door as presented on the overhead at the meeting. And that the brick colors vary, and I was kind of halfway listening to that conversation.
Just to give us some thought that
Just
there
a
might be
little
some brick
variation.
color shading, if you felt that would enhance it.
And that would be in the vertical masses.
Right.
Okay, some color shading in the brick and the vertical masses. And the area above the front door be treated with artwork, creative sign, something permanent. Banners are a great idea, but I'd rather see something permanent, because those can come down. I don't know if that meets the standard of a.
That description? Yeah. I think it does.
I second.
Anybody opposed, or all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so pass. All right, thank you for being flexible. And thank you for coming with an alternative.
Yeah, that's good.
So before we adjourn, thank you, gentlemen. Before we adjourn, Brian says we will, not only do we have a meeting on August 14th, but we will have another meeting on August 28th, a specific meeting to hear the Old Orchard.
Housing?
Give me a.
Correct, the Old Orchard redevelopment on the north end of the mall,
The
including,
Bloomingdale spot.
correct, multifamily housing, potential hotel, 3 or 4 buildings.
Okay. And is that gonna be at 7:30 PM?
Same time, it would be
Okay.
the fourth Wednesday, August 28th.
Okay, so make sure you guys have that in your calendar. Brian, or somebody from the village will send us out an official notice. Keep in mind that it'll be a little busy around here that day, because that'll be the day before the Backlot Bash starts, which is out in the street here. The Backlot Bash. And then, and I don't know how many people will be here presenting.
We're assuming there'll be a small team to present.
Okay. And then do we, just so I know, from here, is it going to plan review or is it going to plan first?
Most likely Plan Commission first, Appearance Commission next, and then
The
to
board.
Village Board.
I'm liking that lineup.
Yeah, it makes a lot
And
more sense.
when do they appear before plan?
Tentatively, is it August 15th?
So there might be a hiccup in that we may not hear this on the 28th if things don't go well at plan.
We'll definitively know on the 16th.
Gotcha, so just keep your calendars open for the 28th. That's all I had. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah,
Otherwise, do we have a meeting earlier in
We always have, we'll have the one on the 14th.
Correct.
This is the supplemental meeting or additional meeting for this one particular case.
Yeah, so we don't have five, six, 7 cases plus a whole presentation.
Plus a
on the
1-hour case, right?
For the plan commission submittal documents, can we get those so that we have enough time to
They'll
review
be on the
everything?
website hopefully a week plus before the meeting.
Okay, so
before
we'll
the
have
plan
enough
commission.
time to review
Correct.
all of that.
Yeah.
Plan
It's not-
commission,
okay.
again, the 15th,
This is a big
everything
deal,
should be on
so-
the website the 8th, 9th at the latest.
Awesome. Anybody have any other comments? Going once, going twice? Sold. Meeting is adjourned at 8:25.
This still says sending,